Good morning to all. Today we are going to see about crystal defects. First of all, we should know about what is meant by crystal. A perfect crystal in which an arrangement of atoms or ions in an orderly manner. When imperfection arises, a temperature increases beyond that zero temperature and any contaminants of foreign substances or substances irradiated from the crystal lattice, it will be called as imperfection, and alternatively it is called as defects in solids. So this is the crystal structure of NaCl. Here the anions connected with cations and cations connected with anions and vice versa. This is the orderly arrangement of anions and cations. So there are types of defects in solids: Corky defect, Frankel defect, impurity defect, metal excess defect and metal deficiency defects. The Corky defect, this type of defect arises the missing of same number of anions and cations inside the crystal lattice. So automatically the neutrality of crystal lattice will be maintained. So this defect we can show in ionic compounds. Example: sodium chloride, cesium chloride and potassium chloride. So this picture shows Corky defect. Here the same number of two cations are missing and two anions are missing. Frankel defect, this type of defect arises only the dislocation of cations from its position and to occupy the interstitial position. What is meant by interstitial position? The space between the anion and cation inside the crystal lattice. So no movement of outside the crystal, only the ions movement happened in the inside the crystal. So only the equilibrium maintained at the whole of the lattice. This picture shows Frankel defect. Here the dislocation of cation will be occupied in the interstitial position. Impurity defect. In molten state of sodium chloride, some impurities are there, that is strontium chloride. SO2 plus ions will be occupied 2 Na plus sites. So this will be balanced in the crystal lattice. So automatically one lattice site is filled with strontium and another Na plus site is vacant. So for example, cadmium chloride and silver chloride. This picture shows impurity defect. This is the vacant site of Na plus ion. Metal excess defect. This defect arises the excess of metal ion in the crystal lattice. For example, under heating of zinc oxide, the oxygen losses and reversibly it will be maintained, adding of one more zinc 2 plus ions. So this is the mentality, and neutrality will be maintained all over the crystal lattice. So this is the picture shows metal excess defect. Here one cation is occupied interstitial position and also it will be balanced by the electrons movement inside the crystal lattice. Metal deficiency defect. In this defect arises due to that one interstitial position will be occupied by any of the other foreign substances. So this will be maintained by the crystal lattice in the excess of one valency of the metal ion. So this picture shows metal deficiency defect. Here one site is vacant, alternatively the charge of the another remaining cation will be increased.